What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines. So first things first, I got the DVD here, so I got to flex it. That's what I do on this channel. I flex DVDs. Look at that. This is a beautiful cover. Beautiful cover. This thing has got some weight to it. It's got the two disc situation. You got disc 1 with the T850. You got disc 2 with the TX. We got all kinds of Terminators. We got this booklet in here, and you can order. Well, I mean, not anymore, but at the time you could order gear from the movie. They have the leather jacket that Arnold wore, the sunglasses. Like you could get drip from Terminator 3. Like that would have been a baller move to rock like the Terminator 3 leather jacket or the Terminator 3 sunglasses. Like the sunglasses are $175. Yeah, and the leather jacket's like $300, but that would be like a flex to rock the Terminator 3 gear. So yeah, you got the booklet, and then you got the back. You got that coffin scene. That's like the most iconic scene in the movie. So yeah, I just, like I said in my previous Terminator reviews, I just picked up Terminator 1, 2, and 3 at the Salvation Army a couple months back, and this is in good condition, you know. So yeah, that was a nice little come up. It only cost 50 cents, so I had to flex the DVD. And yeah, my history with Terminator 3 is, you know, I grew up watching this one as well, but really, you know, I would watch Terminator 3 and I would watch Terminator 1, but I would mainly, like Terminator 2, I watched the most, so I didn't really remember a whole lot of Terminator 3. Like once I put it on, like like it was all coming back to me, the scene where he's got the coffin on his shoulder and the machine gun, that, like, once I saw that, I immediately recognized that, and that's like an iconic scene. I was just like flooded with nostalgia, so that was cool. But yeah, like this is one that I grew up watching as well, but just not as much as part 2. So yeah, I didn't remember a whole lot. And you know, just okay, getting into my overall opinion, this one, you know, I really love part 2. I love part 1. Part 3, I thought it was decent. I thought it was okay. It was by no means a bad movie. And you know, you had Arnold coming back. It you know, it felt like a continuation. It felt in line with the franchise. There was nothing wrong with it, but just, I don't know, overall it just, you know, you can't even compare it to like part 2, because part 2, so like part 2 is just, it's like a masterpiece. But just like on its own, part 3, to me, I know, I feel like, I don't know, maybe some people hate this one, maybe some people love it. To me, it was just okay. Like I wouldn't really rewatch this that much. I'd just probably stick to 1 and 2. But yeah, it wasn't by any means bad. But anyways, jumping into a plot summary. In this movie, Sarah Connor has passed away, and John Connor is now 25 years old. There's this prototype Terminator called the TX, which is sent back in time in order to kill John Connor and his future wife, Kate. And another Terminator, the T850, is sent back in time to protect John and his future wife, Kate. And basically the T850 wants to get John and Kate to Mexico to, you know, survive the fallout of Judgment Day. But basically Kate's dad, he's supervising the development of Skynet, and, you know, Kate and John want to go, you know, save him, so they take a detour. And then yeah, for the rest of the movie they're trying to stop Judgment Day, and they're trying to defeat the TX. So that is the basic plot summary. Um, here's the first point that I want to get into. Like I said, the movie is good, but okay. Here's the thing. The action in this is top notch. Like the action sequences, they're fantastic. Like I mean the car chase scene earlier on with like the crane where the TX has this like it's driving this like giant truck with a crane on it, and like windows of buildings are getting smashed, and like the whole street is getting smashed, cars are exploding, you know, John's trying to escape, and he's like driving through suburban neighborhoods, crashing into this, that, and the third. Like that whole chase scene was phenomenal. The scene with, you know, the Terminator holding the giant coffin on his shoulder with a giant machine gun in the other hand, like shooting at all these cop cars, that was great. So like the action in this was fantastic. I thought the story was good. The performances were good. I liked Nick Stahl as John Connor. I liked Claire Danes as Kate. I liked, you know, of course Arnold was great again. Whoever the woman who played TX, she was good. The performances were good. But here's the main thing that I did not like. Like there wasn't, even though the performances were good, there wasn't as much chemistry between the characters. Like I really liked the whole dynamic between John and the T-800 in part 2, where, you know, they kind of have this bond, and John is teaching the T-800, you know, because he's like a learning model, and he can like learn to be more human. Like in this one, the T-850, it like, you know, it's the Terminator still played by Arnold, but it's kind of a different approach. Like he still has some like funny moments and some like good lines, like when, you know, like Kate shoots him and he spits out the bullet, like that stuff's great. Or like when, you know, he like smashes the goofy glasses in the beginning, that's great stuff. But the T-850 is like, he's just all about his mission. He's not really bonding with John. Like him and John don't have that relationship like they did in the second one. He's just all about his mission, and he's so like straight to the point, even more than the last movie. And you know, he comes in just knowing everything. Like he knows, like, okay, I'm not gonna kill civilians. Like he knows everything about everything already. Like I miss the fact, like in part 2, John and the T-800, like they started this new relationship, and they had to like, you know, like John had to teach him everything. There was none of that in this. Like the T-850 already knew the drill, and he was not trying to bond with John or Kate. Like he was just laser focused on his mission. So yeah, I thought there was less chemistry, and you know, I really did like Sarah Connor, and like I liked her relationship with John so much. And you know, of course she's like militant, and she has this obligation to train John and to keep him alive. But I liked some of the heartfelt moments and their chemistry. So I kind of missed that in this. You know, like I said, I like the actors, their performances were good in this, but like I don't know, like there were some heartfelt moments between John and Kate, but they didn't have as much chemistry as like all the characters did in the previous movie. So yeah, that's something that I really that was like the main thing that I didn't like. It like this movie lacked the charm that part 2 had. I said I wasn't going to compare it to part 2, but I kind of have to. So I don't know, I'm copping out. But yeah, that was like the main thing. But yeah, the action, the story was fantastic. So it was like nothing, like the movie itself was not necessarily bad, like I've said a bunch of times, but it just, the characters lacked that chemistry, and it did lack a little bit of that charm that the second one had. Something that I really liked, I liked the TX. She was like just an upgrade from the T-1000. I love the T-1000, but you know, that was the thing. The T-1000, he was like this you know, liquid metal Terminator, and he could shapeshift. He could turn his arm into a knife. He could shapeshift and look like other people. But you know, the Terminator even said that in part two. Like, yeah, he can't shapeshift into like complex machines. In this one, the TX, she has the liquid metal component, but she can shapeshift into complex machines as well. So you know, she could do all the things that the T-1000 did, where you know, she basically has like the metal endoskeleton with the like shape-shifting liquid metal covering over it. And so she's like the best of both worlds. And yeah, like she could, like when she gets shot, like the bullet holes, they look like reminiscent of when the T-1000 will get shot, and you have all like that silver metal, like all dilapidated, all, you know, wavy, blah blah blah. And then like she could like turn in, like she could like shapeshift and look like other people, but then you know, she can shapeshift into complex mechanical devices. Like she could turn her arm into a flamethrower. She could turn her arm into a machine gun. So I thought the TX was really cool. Like she, like, I don't know, all her new abilities were really cool, and she was definitely you know, definitely a strong antagonist, because she just had that unstoppable vibe. So I thought the TX was cool. I wrote down that you know, like those couple action scenes that I talked about, like the car chase scene with the crane, and Arnold coming out with the coffin. Yeah, those were like my two standout scenes. But yeah, the action in this was fantastic. And the last point is kind of a spoiler. So if you have not seen this movie, turn off the review right now, and if you don't want any spoilers. But you have been warned. Spoiler warning. Now I'm gonna jump into it. So the ending of this movie, I really liked. Like, Judgment Day actually happens, and I just had that. I just had that feeling of like, you know, because they were talking about it so much, and it's like, it's just so crazy when it's like, no, like it's like you just have this like sinking feel, like, oh no, like they couldn't stop it, like they couldn't stop the inevitable. And it was this crazy feeling. And yeah, like the ending, like you could tell like John was just like, okay, I gotta step into that leadership role. Like he gets on the radio and he's like, I'm John Connor. So yeah, I really liked the ending. It was just crazy seeing Judgment Day actually happen, and it was like, it was still unbelievable. It's like, no, like you're like, you don't want to believe it, but it's like they couldn't stop it. They tried everything they could, and they still couldn't stop it. And it was like the theme at the end was kind of different than the theme in part two, where in part two it was like, your fate is mutable. You have the power to change your fate. But in this, it was like they're questioning, like, maybe there was nothing we could have done. Maybe we could have never changed our fate. Maybe, you know, our destiny is already written. Like the future is already written, and no matter what we do, even if we do change this, and this, like, we can't outrun our fate. So I kind of liked that theme, and how they kind of flip-flopped it from movie to movie. So that was really cool. And yeah, the ending was absolutely fantastic. So yeah, overall, I thought Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines, I thought it was decent. I thought it was okay. You know, it's still in line with like the first three. You got Arnold, you got like the action is fantastic. So even though this isn't my favorite sequel, I think it's still worth checking out at least once. And you know, if you're a fan of part 1 and 2, it does, I don't know, it like the at least the first three for me, like they feel like they all go together, and it does it is like cool to see the continuation of the story, see to like get to actually see Judgment Day and stuff. So I would recommend Terminator 3. So yeah, that has been my review of Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines. Thank you all very much for watching, and peace out.